character named Seth is shown at the starting of the movie who has awakened just now. He has neither a family member nor any friend. He used to serve in the animal control department. And he has intimacy with the same animals. His life was limited to go to work and return back. Neither he had interest in the social life nor in his private life. When he is returning back to his house after winding up his work, then he encounters a girl on the bus. Seth goes to her and says, "Hi." But that girl does not recognize him at all. Seth calls her with the name Holly. He tells, "We have been studied in high school together." But Holly was unable to bring him into her mind. Holly has a diary. She tells on the insistence of Seth, she daily writes her journal on it. Seth begins to feel for Holly at the same while. And he offers her to have a cup of coffee with him. But Holly tells her, she is a waitress in a restaurant and already has beloved. After some times, Holly gets off the bus without hearing Seth completely, reaching his terminal. Seth is upset on it. Reaching his house, he researches the information about Holly on social networking site. And he gets her profile. And he goes to animal control department routine-wise. He asks something to his co-worker, security guard named Nate. How can he impress any girl? Nate reveals, be confident because girls mostly like the confident men. While talking, a doctor asks him while calling, to bring the shepherded dog named Lexi. Because it had been ill for a long time and intimated with Seth. Seth brings that dog to doctor. And that doctor is about to kill it with a poisonous injection. It has been sick for a long time, increasing the expense of animal control department. Doctor suggests Seth, he can take it away if he wants. But how could he look after it? Because he himself was reserved. Then doctor puts it into death, injecting it. Seth burns the dog's body. Meanwhile, he observes the back room of the animal cage. There was a basement inside it. Observing it, he is surprised. Afterwards, he returns to his house and starts gathering information about Holly. He comes to know about Holly's restaurant through internet. Seth supposes seeing Holly's photos as what may be her liking or disliking. He notes it down in a notebook. Seth visits Holly's restaurant for lunch on the coming day. But Holly again refuses to recognize him, ignoring him. Even she is not interested to know his name. In spite of this, Seth invites her to a concert. Holly leaves from there, getting furious. While returning to her house at night, Holly senses as someone is chasing her. The chaser was Seth. Going back to house, she reveals everything to her friend Claire. Meanwhile, a call of Holly's beloved is received by her. He is uttering something strange in drugged state. Holly disconnected his call in anger and begins to talk with her friend again. Next day, Holly receives bouquet for her in the restaurant which are sent by someone. Holly thinks her beloved Eric may have sent these flowers for her as an apology. She asks about it from him at night time. But he fairly declines it. Holly gets understanding on it, these are surely by Seth. Here Seth is observed who was again chasing Holly. He again asks Holly to accompany him. He discloses, I had sent those flowers to your restaurant. Holly is got angry and her beloved beats Seth violently, leaving him injured. Seth gets the diary of Holly later where she used to write her journal on a daily basis. Returning to his house, he starts reading the diary. Afterwards, more information about Holly is revealed before him. And a secret is also disclosed about Holly. Next morning, he goes to the basement, coming into the office. Taking information through internet, he makes a steel cage for that basement. And he stealthily steals an injection to paralyze the animals from the clinic there. For testing, at injection, he himself injects his body. Consequently, he is paralyzed for a while. He again pursues Holly at the coming night who was moving to her apartment but there is no one in her apartment. Seth injects her, taking the advantage of it. He kidnaps her and brings into animal control department, closing in the box. Nate diverts Nate's attention when he catches the sight of that box. He locks Holly into his built steel cage, taking her into that basement. After a while, Holly finds herself caged, coming into the senses. Her nail is ripped off when she tries to release herself. Holly shouts loudly, but her voice cannot travel outside because of the noise of animals and being caged in the basement. And she stays there in the darkness of the whole night. Next day, Seth goes for his work again. And he gives Holly some edible things and the toilets needs. He makes her to remember his name because she never tried to know his name. Then he leaves Holly for 2 or 3 days. And he finds Holly swooned when he goes to her. He makes her to drink water. Holly stops him when he is leaving after serving her food. But he leaves, not stopping himself. She was alone there and imagines her friend Claire. She was not favored to use the given toilet seat of Seth, but she had to. At the same time, a rat creeps near her feet. At the beginning, she is afraid but later kills it while crushing. Here Holly is noticed aggressive. Next day, Holly asks as Seth arrives, "Do you want to kill me?" Seth replies, "No, I don't want to kill you, but it may be if time demands." He tells, "I fell in love with you at first sight. I have brought you here for your safety, not harming you." Seth leaves after saying it. Nate observes him as he is coming out from the basement. Telling a lie, Seth leaves from there. Seth shows Holly her diary and he comes again to her on the next day, where everything relevant to her was written. Seth asks about her friend Claire. Holly says, "I know nothing about her." Seth says, "I had heard you talking with her." Seth is afraid because 2 persons' voices were coming from the cage, even Holly was alone there. Seth asks her, "Is Claire really here?" Holly replies, "No." But she has the view of Claire at Seth's backside. Then Seth reveals the secret before her: there is no existence of girl Claire, but it is your false vision, what you imagine, and you are actually sick. Then Seth tells all details from the beginning, what she has written in her diary. Actually, Eric and Holly had engaged a few time ago. But Holly comes to know about the affair between Eric and Claire through Eric's mobile. As a result, she drives the car fast intentionally to meet the accidental consequences. Consequently, both are wounded severely. But Holly pricks a piece of glass into the eye of Claire, putting her dead. Holly tells Seth, "I am a writer and the written content in diary is based on fiction." Seth says to her, "I also took them fictions. So I knew everything about Claire's death, going to the police station. Chasing you for many time, I also knew that you are the cause behind many deaths." She has mentioned them all in her diary. She burnt many people alive and many were killed while strangling. Seth tells her, he has brought her here so she may not harm anyone and also be protected from the police and other people. Saying it, he leaves. Seth observes some changes in the attitude of Holly when he comes the next day. She was wiping her body. Seth asks her about those murders, but Holly distracts him. She hits her head violently with the steel cage, which leaves her wounded. Seth had not served her food for many days. Seth refuses when Holly requests him the meal. Holly begins to enchant her using polite words. She says, "I may have fallen in love with you." Being trapped by her wording, Seth goes to take edible thing for her. Here Nate again observes Seth coming out. He moves to basement as Seth leaves. He notices Holly locked in a steel cage. Seeing him, Holly starts to ask help from him. She requests him to break the lock of the cage. But the lock is not broken by Nate and Seth arrives there at the same time. Contrarily, Holly says to Seth to kill Nate. She asks him, kill him with the rock which is placed nearby. As a result, Nate's head is smashed because Seth does the same. He also dies there. Now Seth was also a murderer like Holly. Then she guides him that how he can dispose the dead body at a place. So the police may not catch you. Seth removes his fingerprints and take out all the teeth, so Nate may not be recognized at any cost. Then he cuts his dead body into small pieces and serves them to the dogs there for 2 days. Police officers start searching for missing Nate. Seth also comes under investigation and is suspected by the police. Police officers say they will keep an eye over him. Seth is afraid. Holly begins the conversation of love with him again. She says to him, "You don't love me. You may not keep me bound if you were in love with me." She demands his finger as a proof. Hearing it, Seth is left astonished. She says, "You only pretend." Seth is again entrapped in her wording and cuts his finger, suffering much pain. Taking a chance, Holly starts to cut her throat while taking his knife. She threatens Seth she will commit suicide if he does not allow him to go. Being enchanted of her wording, Seth unlocks the cage door, and she begins to shower her loving words on him, coming outside. Seth thinks as Holly has fallen in love with him. But Holly cuts his throat with his knife and leaves that place. After a time, Holly is seen with Eric, moreover her fiction had also been published. But Eric was still cheating her. One day, Holly goes to a house coming out from her apartment where the filthy and mysterious person was caged whose one finger was cut off. This man was no one but Seth. It was difficult to recognize him because of his worst condition. There is no scene further and movie ends here.